lights set up or anything fancy. Hi guys, I don't have my lights set up or I'm already talking. Hi guys, I don't have my lights or anything fancy going on. So excuse me, but I think these are really important things that we need to chat about and things that are actually going to be very much incorporated into the school program that I'm doing. Our modern day Calmecak is what we're calling it. And it's actually available on the school platform, which is an alternative educational platform. We're going to talk about it more. I'm just going to get set up here on my Instagram. So hold on tight. We're going to be talking about health today. We're going to be talking about about sustainability. We're going to be talking about planting. Sorry, if you guys don't know, I have Tourette's and that's why I twitch. We're going to be talking about sustainability. We're going to be talking about a lot of very, very important things that are with the world kind of going a little nuts, as you guys know, as you guys have seen. It is more important than ever to talk about this. Now, why am I talking about this? Why can I even talk about this? Well, I am actually a what? I'm actually a nutritionist. I'm a health coach. I'm a certified personal trainer, certified yoga teacher, as well as a behavior change specialist. I have my bachelor's in science of human nutrition from Arizona State, and I've been working in that industry for many years now. So that is exactly why. But let me set up here and then we can get going. Okay. Join the community. Perfect. Okay. Is changing. Let's be ready. All right. The world is changing. Let's be ready. So, as many of you know, I usually set this up both ways because Instagram tends to kick me off. Hi, everybody. Welcome, 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 everybody. So, I am on YouTube. If Instagram feed gets cut off, go to my YouTube channel and hop on so we don't lose each other. Okay. We're going to be talking about very important things today that are very helpful and beneficial for people to learn. We're going to talk about health and we're going to talk about sustainability. These two things matter, but these two things, health and sustainability, matter more than they've ever mattered before because the world is changing. And I know your guys' algorithm is full of natural disasters and crazy things. And this is not in any way to make you fearful or to make you scared or like doomsday or anything. But it is important to know and it is important to be ready. So we're going to talk about health and sustainability. Again, if my Instagram cuts off, my YouTube live is going. So please go check that out. The links that are available. Hi, Noel. Good morning. The links that are available are for my community. We'll talk about that later. But let's hop right into it. If you guys don't know, I have a book coming out September 21st called Decolonize Your Diet. But aside from it talking about colonization and decolonization and food systems, it talks about nutrition. Now, why am I talking about this? I actually have my bachelor's in science of human nutrition from ASU. I am a working nutritionist. I am also a sports performance specialist, a personal trainer, a certified health coach. I can go on and on. I've been working in the health industry for the last 7 years of my life. Now, the reason I want to share all this information is because there's a lot to chat about. Aside from my career working in this field, I also live in my own homestead. We harvest rainwater, we grow our own food, we have chickens. Hopefully we'll have more animals soon. So I am actually, anything that I tell you right now, I am living it. I am actually doing it. Okay. Now I'm not like a doomsday prepper that's going crazy and, hauls all this water and stuff. Maybe a little bit, but not all the way. Okay. But because I've shared this information for many years, I feel like our community needs more of it more than ever. Okay. Because we're talking about the world changing, right? The world is shifting. And if you have read my book, Decolonize, my book, A Modern Guide to Mexica Philosophy, we talk about Tlaticpac. Tlaticpac is a very sophisticated philosophy that the Mexica or the Aztecs had. And it was about the world being unstable. And that feeling of the world is always going to be unstable because it's always moving. So we have two options when the world is unstable. We either cry about it, we either freak out, cry about it, and get depressed, or we learn to walk on this unstable world, right? On this unstable earth. And now more than ever, it's relevant because the world is very unstable due to many things, whether it's socioeconomic problems, politics, or climate change. And whatever you want to think about climate change, whether it is due because of humans fucking up the world, or not. That's your own. Sorry, guys. Hold on. Go to my YouTube. I'm live. I this sucks. My IG keeps cutting off. Okay. So this is going to be a video anyways. You guys can come back and watch it later. Yes. So IG is always going to cut me out, guys. IG is always going to disconnect me. It's going to tell me that I have bad Wi-Fi when I do not. So if you are watching me on Instagram and this gets cut off, go open my YouTube. I am live on YouTube. I need you guys to hear everything I'm going to talk about today, health and sustainability. Okay. We're going to jump right in because I don't know how long Instagram will keep me up, but please know, guys, go to my YouTube channel. It's at With Folklore. You guys can go there. Now, I want to, before I get into it and it cuts me off, I want to mention, guys, that the community that I have built on Skool, we get to have conversations every single week. And once a month, we get to sit with our coffee for 2+ hours to chat. And I am there to answer questions, guys. I am there to answer questions about everything, not just philosophy, not just culture, not just history, but also health, because that's what I do, and sustainability because I live in a homestead. Okay, let's get into it, guys. With climate changes and everything going on, you guys have heard about El Nino, right? El Nino that's coming. And a lot of the times we go, oh my God, they just say this. They just say this. This is very important information that the NOAA just came out with, and La UNAM in Mexico is backing up, okay? La UNAM has already said this is quite catastrophic. Okay, we're talking about the biggest El Nino in the history of the world. Okay, the largest one was in 1877, and since then we have not seen something like this. This is bigger than the one in 1877. What does that mean? Okay, guys, I'm not going to go into a climatologist fucking information here, but I am going to tell you that that buildup in the Pacific is going to cause some crazy weather, right? That means that the next spring, summer of 27 will be dramatically hotter, as we've seen it get hot, 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 right? I remember being in California and it's just being kind of outrageous, 100, 101, 100. I mean, they're talking 110, not just in the valley, not just in the inlands, but in the cities. Okay. We're talking about crazy winters. We're talking about crazy water, crazy rain, all of these things. So I live in a mountain. I live 7,000 feet in a mountain in the forest. And how we get our water is we get it from a local well and we haul it to our tank. But what I also do is that I harvest rainwater. With that rainwater that we harvest all over our property, we put it into 250-gallon tanks. With that 250-gallon tanks, what we do is we connect a hose to it and we have like a pump, and that pump runs off solar energy. And then we can water all of our plants, all of our trees, everything that we need, right? Which is amazing because we've gotten a lot of water with this monsoon, which has been great. Now, these are little things that sound insane. Now, I'm talking to you as someone that grew up in the city. I did not grow up in a farm. I did not grow up in rural America or even very rural Mexico. I guess rural Mexico, but I didn't have chickens and anything like that. This is my first time doing all of this. It was my very first time setting up solar panels, figuring out how it works, connecting everything myself and my uncle, building a greenhouse by ourselves, building a chicken coop by ourselves. This has all been the first time we've done this. Okay. Bobby says, you're not playing. I'm so over this heat. I know. And not to be a Debbie Downer, but it is going to get worse. Okay. The climate is going to change and it's going to get worse. Now, why do I bring up sustainability? Because you guys have to understand that when the climate gets worse, it affects places like Brazil, Chile, Argentina. Why are those three places so important in the world, guys? Why are those three places so important? Because we get most of our vegetables and our fruits from those three places. What happens with their extreme heat? Crops start to fail. And then we have food shortages, okay? But do not panic. It is quite simple to grow your food, whether you are doing it in a property full of acres or you're doing it in an apartment. Okay. And those are all the things that I'm trying to teach you guys. I'm trying to teach you that from that one tomato that you cut in your kitchen counter, you can next season have 15 plants if you wanted to. Okay. I'm talking about being able to cultivate certain foods that are very important. I'm talking about understanding how you can grow your own food and make it as simple as possible, how you can filter water if needed. I know this all seems very extreme and very intense, but I happen to not only know all this information in the health area, but I also live in the mountains on the middle of the forest. So sustainability is very, very, very important. Now, this is why I'm talking about it. In the school platform that I have built, if you guys have not heard of Skoll, Skoll, it's basically an alternative education platform, which is really cool. And at first I was kind of hesitant. I was like, what is this about? You know, a bunch of like bros telling you like, dude, you can make all this money. Like, fuck the money. The point is, you can teach anything and everything, right? You can teach anything, which is awesome. So, what I've built this school is teaching you guys what you guys want to learn, but I want to build it with you guys. I don't want to just tell you, hey, come in, there's a bunch of courses that you can learn about Mexican philosophy. Okay, that's cool. But I'd rather you guys tell me what you guys really want from me. For instance, a lot of people mentioned that they would like to like have a place where we can do our lives and talk back to me and ask me questions and we can interact. That's the best part. I was trying to figure out, where are we going to do it? Are we going to do it on Discord? Are we going to do it on YouTube? Are we going to do it on Zoom? I mean, we can't even do it on YouTube, but like, are we going to do it on Zoom? Are we going to do it Discord? The point is, I wanted to see your beautiful faces. I wanted to see you guys. I wanted to talk to you. I don't want the relationship of influencer follower. No, that's not the fucking point. I'm an educator for a reason, because I want to educate, but I want to know if you guys have questions and answer them live. So anyway, I was like, I don't want to take you guys to Discord. I want to take you guys to Zoom. That's a bitch and a half. So this thing came up, and it's perfect because on Skoll, in this community, we will have weekly chats. So every week we'll have a weekly call. That means I hop on here with you guys. I see you. You guys see me, like a Zoom call. And we get to talk to each other, which is amazing. But the other thing is, once a month, we will have Café con Resistencia. Café con Resistencia is a 2-hour chat or plus, whatever. We get our coffee, we get our tea, we get whatever we want, and we sit down and we chat. And I also want to mention, guys, that I have another project happening with some very cool people. That includes Lee Blake, Alicia Keys, Kelly Rowland. We're doing something pretty cool, and I want you guys to be a part of it as well. So if you join the Skoll community, you will have access to that as well, and you will get to know more about that. But more importantly, you guys get to kick it with me every week, and then every month we actually get to sit down and kick it. And La Resistencia con Café, our monthly call that is over 2 hours, is actually in the evening on Sundays, so that hopefully everyone can join, or we can figure out the best time for you guys on Saturday and Sunday where we can all join and hang out. So that's the coolest part of the Skoll community, that we actually get to see each other and we actually get to talk and chat and everything else. Aside from that, we're going to have lessons, courses, the whole fucking thing. But I want you guys to tell me what you want to learn more about. Maybe you guys want more pre-Hispanic history, but maybe you guys also want sustainability. Be like, hey, Laura, I want to learn how to fucking grow tomatoes. I want to learn how to grow maize, right? Or how to harvest rainwater, whatever, right? Or maybe you guys want to learn more about health. Hey, Laura, I want to know about macronutrients versus micronutrients. I want to know how to be healthy. I want to know how to lose weight. I want to know how to lose fat, whatever it may be, right? That's why I want you guys to help me build it, because I'm very nuanced, and I don't mean this in a narcissistic way, like, oh my gosh, I know so much, but I know a lot. I'm an only child. Okay. I've spent my entire life learning. I've spent my entire life learning about everything that I could get my hands on, from philosophy to now graduating in health. Like, this is what I do, and I like to give it back to you guys, specifically our community. So this school is built for our community, natives, Latinos, Mexicanos, whatever word you want to use. It is for us. It is for our people. And I need you guys to understand that. That's why we call it the modern day Calmecac. Calmecac was the institution. There was two institutions in Mexica times, or in the Mexica Empire, the Aztec Empire. And the Calmecac was where the noble Mexicas would go to study ethics, philosophy, politics, everything you can think of. That's why we call it our modern day Calmecac, right? Because I consider us all nobles of our ancestors, and we can really do a lot if we come together. Now, people are like, well, is this free? No, because there's no way I could do this for free. Okay, it's $19 a month. But let me tell you, you can give your $19 to HBO or Disney Plus or fucking whatever else, or you can give it back to creators and to people in your community that are trying to do something. Because let me tell you guys, if I ever become a fucking millionaire, if I ever get rich, that money is going straight to you guys. That money is going to buy shit from creators, uphold creators, be able to employ Latinos and Mexicans and everything else. So, you know, it's not like it's going to go to fucking Givenchy bags or some shit that I'm going to buy myself. Like, guys, everything I have on has been like 6 years since I've bought clothes. Okay. But okay, going back to health, there's a couple things that I want to explain. If we are not healthy, we won't survive anything. Okay. If we are not health conscious, we are not going to thrive. Our people have been surviving for generations. not only pre-Hispanic times, not only colonization, not only poverty, we have been surviving for generations. When are we going to start thriving? Because now, when we potentially can thrive, we are either very unhealthy, we have the higher risks of diabetes, highest numbers of cancers, highest numbers of all this shit, because we do not take care of ourselves. Why don't we take care of ourselves? That's epigenetic as well. There's a reason why genetically it is hard for us to, one, relax, especially as Latina women. It is very fucking hard to relax. There's a reason why we don't talk about women's health, perimenopause, menopause, all of this information. Well, we can talk alcoholism in our communities. We can talk about a lot of things, but the point is, at the end of the day, we don't take care of ourselves, and we don't see health as wealth like white people do, right? White people, oh my gosh. Now, I've worked with white people who are of money, let's say, through diagnostic testing and healthcare for years. Okay. Health is wealth is their slogan. And guess what? It's a great slogan because health is wealth. If you're not healthy, you're going to cause so many problems, not only to yourself, but to your family, right? There's so much more expenses when you're unhealthy. You have to pay for your health care, which is impossible to pay for in the United States. So, again, as Latinos, as Mexicanos, we are not thriving. We are still just surviving. Even though our grandparents had to survive way worse, we are still not thriving. So it is important for us to get to that point. And in order to get to that point, it requires reconnection, okay? Because our health system and our healthcare needs to be connected to history and culture. Okay. Why do I say that? You're like, well, that doesn't make sense. It does make sense because if someone who migrated from Mexico that is now in the United States is having insulin resistance and goes into their Kaiser Permanente with their dietitian, and their dietitian goes, all right, the first thing we're going to stop eating is tortillas. We're going to just eat white rice, broccoli, and chicken. That's the first fuck up we have there, right? Because our biology is not the same as a European's biology, right? There's no reason why we should stop eating tortillas. There's no reason why we should stop eating nixtamalización, right? So nixtamalización, what is that, guys? What is nixtamalization? Okay, this is a pre-Hispanic beautiful fucking discovery, okay? And what our ancestors did is that they boiled corn in water and they threw cal in it, okay? Cal is oh my god, limestone in English. They threw limestone in there. What happens when you put limestone in boiling water in corn? Well, that corn not only gets rid of all the bad bacteria, but it becomes bioavailable. It brings calcium out. It brings niacin out. It brings all these vitamins and minerals that the corn did not have before. So what did our ancestors do? They then took that corn and they made masa, right? They put all the kernels down in a metate and they built masa. Masa is one of the healthiest, most biologically active foods there are. Now, guess what? What do you pair that with? Beans. What happens when we put beans in there? We just put protein, fiber, and excellent carbohydrates. We now have a complete meal. Yes, it's true. You don't need the meat. You can add the meat and make it even better, but you don't need it. So you're telling me that someone that is insulin resistant, who needs more low glycemic foods like beans and tortillas, ends up going to a dietitian and is told to stop eating tortillas and start eating broccoli and chicken. Broccoli, which probably isn't even in our system because broccoli is very new to Mesoamerica. So again, this is why healthcare needs to be attached to history and culture. And the best way you can do it and reconnect is by learning about your history and your culture and everything. You want to be healthy? You need to learn what foods work for you. You need to learn that, for instance, here's the big one, fasting. People go, oh, I'm just going to fast. You know what I mean? I'm Mexican. I'm going to fast. Did you know that fasting is phenomenal for white people because there is something that happens in your cells that basically the good cells get rid of the bad cells and recreate them into good cells. That's autophagy made in a nutshell, okay? And everyone talks about autophagy. Oh my God, it cured cancer, everything. I need to fast. Okay. So fasting has a biological and epigenetic factor. That is that Northern Europeans had harsh winters, okay? Meaning they didn't have bioavailability of food. So when a Northern European person fasted, the energy came from fat. So you would lose fat and you would basically come into autophagy. If someone who is Latino, if someone who is from an island, whether Polynesian or Puerto Rican, Mexicano, Centroamericano, Latinoamericano, fasts, you know where the energy comes from? It comes from your brain, your liver, and your gallbladder before it comes from fat. because we're used to warmer climates. We're not used to crazy winters, and we're used to having bioavailability of food. You're in Veracruz and you see chayotes and piñas and everything fucking growing. That is why us fasting has very different results than someone who's Northern European specifically. Okay. It's going to stress your body and you're going to hold on to fat and you're going to raise cortisol levels. But why don't we know that? Because healthcare is not attached to history and it's not attached to culture. It is attached to European principles and white people. And that is it. It is what it is. That's why when you go and get your BMI, you're told that you are morbidly obese, even though you're not that big. Because again, the way your body's made is very different. Okay. I did the nutritional planning for athletes that were most likely going to go pro. And I also work with pro athletes, and they ate completely different. My Samoan athletes ate different than my Mexican athletes, than my white athletes, than my Asian athletes. Why? Because all these people that you see thriving in health and professional athletes, they are eating an epigenetic diet. They know their surroundings and their biology and their genetics. Latinos and Black communities were the last ones, and natives, right? Native Americans, Latinos and Blacks. We are the last ones to get any of that information, okay? We're not going to get that info. That's just how it works, okay? And that is very unfortunate because these are the limitations that we are having from going from surviving to thriving. Okay? Everybody please remember that. If you take that something from today, it's let's go from surviving to thriving. Okay? And the only way we're going to do that is by reconnecting. And how do we reconnect? We learn our history and we learn our culture. And that's the way we start. And I'm going to drink some water because I've been talking way too much. Now, you guys, and everyone has told me this, Laura, you give too much shit for free. That's your problem. This is your time to prove people wrong. Fucking prove me wrong. If you have questions, ask them. I am here as a nutritionist coming on. You know how much my consultations were when I was working in my office in Irvine? $350 per hour is how much I charged as a nutritionist, working with professional athletes and general population. I am here coming for you to answer any of your questions. I am here building a school community that's only $19 a month that will not only answer these questions, but you guys will literally be every single week on a call with me live, asking questions, figuring it out together, and then once a month sitting for 2 hours to fucking chat. Okay? I'm doing that for our community because that's what I've always wanted to do. I didn't want to just provide for people that already have the money. Oh my gosh, I'm getting blown up. That already have the money to do this. Okay? That's not the point. Yes, white people have the money to do this, and therefore they do it. Therefore they do it, right? Therefore these people, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to sound racist in any way, but white people have the money to go once a month to get a DEXA scan, to get a metabolism test, to get a VO2 test. We don't have that, okay? A DEXA scan's what, $120 was in our location. An RMR, which is resting metabolic rate, was what, 150? VO2 was 170. We don't. And I was sick of only giving my consultations and my time to them. So I'm giving it to you guys. But here's the deal. You guys have to give something back. You guys have to give the attention back too. And I know you guys are like, oh, I can't pay for another membership. Yes, you fucking can. You pay for HBO, cut your HBO. Forget your HBO. Why do you need to watch more shit on Netflix? Why do you need to sit and just go brain dead from after doom scrolling all fucking day on your phone? You're going to get home and you're going to watch a bunch of shit. Hop on my community. You know what you get? You get community. You get other people that are like you, that are Latinos, Mexicanos, that are trying to create something. You get information, not only about our history and philosophy. I'm talking courses and everything else. You actually get me live, and you get whatever you guys want to build in this school. Like I said, you guys want us to talk about sustainability, how to grow your own tomatoes from your apartment. You guys want to know how to harvest rainwater. You guys want to know what a macronutrient is versus a micronutrient. You want to know what minerals do to your body. This is it. She said, I'm sorry, where do you even get those? A health center? So those diagnostics, thank you, Amireya. The link is actually on, it should be on the bio, but if not on the bio, it should be here on my live. You should be able to click on the link on the screen. And if not, it's on my bio. So actually those diagnostics tests are done either in universities or diagnostic centers. So for instance, my business was DexaFit OC, and it's still available. It's in Irvine, California. And that's what we did: resting metabolic rate, DEXA scans, all of this. And when you guys see pro athletes and everybody who is, up there, this is what they do, right? And just to be clear, what are these diagnostics? For instance, BMI is so shitty and it's so unreliable that when you walk into a DEXA, it actually uses radiation. So you need to be certified. I am a radiological technician in California, and they lay you down, and with that scan, which takes less than 10 minutes, we're able to see your fat mass. So how many pounds of you is fat? How many pounds of you is lean mass, meaning muscle and cellular, water, and everything else? How your bone density is, how everything, if you have visceral fat, which is fat around the organs, which is the dangerous kind of fat. So these are all really amazing tests. Resting metabolic rate. You sit down and you breathe with a mask for 15 minutes. It'll tell you how many calories you expend at rest, which is the most important thing, because now you know if your metabolism is slow, if it's fast, if it's okay. And as a nutritionist, I don't like to guess. I don't like to just be like, here's an equation. No. I need to know, how much are you expending at rest? Then I can figure out exactly how much you should eat and what your macronutrients should look like. Again, I've said this, and I think there's a video that puts it out, because people are like, oh, did you really? I've worked with a ton of professional athletes in the MLB, in the UFC, in boxing, in NFL. And then we also worked with up and coming professional athletes. But like I said, one thing that I realized is that specifically our people, we're just not only are we not doing the things, we don't know. We don't know. This information is not for us. This information is not given to us. And let me tell you guys something else that's happened. So because I started this school community, you have a live call with these like bros that created it. And no offense to them, but it's like Andrew Kirby, Hormozi. I didn't know who these people were, but I guess Hormozi is very famous and he is a fucking millionaire. Okay. And what do they tell you? You know, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to hustle, whatever. But the one thing I've noticed is that in these meetings, I sometimes am the only woman. Not sometimes, pretty much every single time in every meeting, I've been the only Mexicana. I've been the only Latina in there. And these motherfuckers are making $100,000 per month. Okay. And you know what pisses me off is that a lot of people out there that support us, yes, you support us with likes and everything else, but we need to support our creators. We need to support our Latino creators that are doing everything they can. Why? Because if we trust them and they're good people, whatever they get back, they're going to put back into the community. And that's the thing. I swear to God, I was thinking to myself, imagine making $100,000 a month. You know what I would do? I would take like at least 20 or 30,000 of that and put it back into the creators. Support artists, buy their stuff, support whatever they're going. And the most important thing, I build a nonprofit organization. And that's why I started this school thing. Because if I could go to funders and I could try to get my nonprofit funded. And this is essentially what I want. I want a nonprofit with folklore to be a place where people can have resources. Educational facilities like schools, colleges, everything can come and be like, hey, we need more resources on Chicano history. We need more resources on pre-Hispanic history. We need more resources, all of it. Or healthcare practitioners can go in and be like, hey, I need resources for my Latino patients, right? And they could get it. But here's the deal. I had a meeting with the founders, with some founders that were like, oh, maybe we can try to get funded. And one of them told me, the only thing, Laura, is that nonprofits, you don't want to give things for free. You want to teach people how to fish. Okay. What about if you took the river? Tell Native Americans that they need to learn how to fish when the reservations have been sacked. Tell us that we need to learn how to fish when we weren't given motherfucking tools, yet we've built this fucking country. Okay. So I'm sick of that mentality of rich ass people. So I'm taking it to the community and asking you guys, do it with me. Do it with me. Build this school together. Pay $19 a month. for this community, this education, this everything. And if we get enough people in there, we can get enough money. I don't care if it might not be 100,000, but if we can make fucking 10 grand, and I say we can make, because that's not me making it and going to buy myself a Chanel fucking bag. That's us making it. Because if we make fucking 10 grand a month, we can fund a fucking nonprofit. We can fund more creators. We can fucking, employ more fucking Mexican Latinos. God, like, I'm passionate about this because this didn't start for me yesterday. This didn't start for me in 2020 when I started making content. This started for me my entire life. This started for me the first time that my uncle sat with me and told me about the massacre of Tlatelolco 68 when I was, 10? This started at 14 when I started working with the indigenous civilization of Veracruz, Tabasco, and Chiapas at 14. This is when I stood there in that town saying something is wrong, something is happening. And I took it upon myself to figure it out. This is what I've been doing. Every single time I listen to mi abuelita teach me about curanderismo, teach me about how to put seeds in a fucking pot and let it grow. This is it. I love it. I love how I get cut off. That's why I have my YouTube. And sorry, I get cut off. YouTube cuts me off. Instagram cuts me off all day. But this is when it started for me. And I took this shit and I made it real. I moved from Orange County, California, massive city, right? To be exact, I lived in Stanton, Latino community, loved my community. I moved from Stanton to the middle of the forest, 7,000 feet in the air. We're in a mountain, and I started a homestead. And I said, fuck it. I'm going to grow my own food. I'm going to harvest my own water. I'm going to set up solar panels. I'm going to have chickens, and I'm going to raise my kids to be good citizens of the earth and the community and each other. So I'm about it. When I fucking talk, is because I walk the fucking walk. I've always been about it. If I ever talk to you guys about nutrition, it's because I'm doing it. If I talk to you about exercise, it's because I'm fucking exercising. If I talk about growing your own food, it's because I'm growing my own fucking food. And if I tell you guys that if we make a certain amount of money per month, I'm going to show you. I'm going to take you into my bank account and say, hey, this is how much we have. Okay, I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna sustain myself. But guess what? I don't need $100,000 fucking dollars, 100,000 a month to survive. That's fucking greedy. You know what I mean? Like, what is it? Maybe $5,000 and you're good. Your rent and everything else, and then the rest we put it back into the fucking community because that's what it's about. Because we need more people that are actually authentic and genuinely about the community, and not just saying they fucking are and not doing shit and not putting anything back into us. It's time. It's time that we go from surviving to thriving. It's time that we learn actual things that are going to help us. Okay. So thank you guys for hearing me. Thank you guys for, coming along. Sorry that this, went down a couple of times. If you guys are watching this video after this live came up, I'm going to tell you guys one more time what we're here to do. Okay. We're here to create our modern day Calmecac. We're here to create our own school. This is hosted in a school platform, which is SKOOL. Go check it out. Not just mine. It's fucking fantastic. It's an alternative educational platform. So you can go in there and be like, I want to learn about paganism, and you put paganism. I want to learn about chemistry, put chemistry. I want to learn how to paint Warhammer figurines, right? And what we do in my school is that we're building it together. Whatever you guys want, we're building. Right now we have Mapping the Machine, which explains the history of El PRI and all political stuff. We're going to have a Modern Guide to Mexica Philosophy course. And we're also going to have the Decolonize Your Diet course, my book that comes out on September 21st. So right now we're building that, but I want you guys to come in and tell me what you guys want. More health stuff, more education about sustainability, how to grow your own food. Hi, Luis. Anything that you guys want, we are going to build together. And then the best part of this platform, the very best part of this platform is that once a week, we're going to hop on a call. All the members, we're going to see each other because you guys wanted that. Remember? And I was figuring out Zoom, Discord. We're going to see each other once a week. And then once a month, the first call is this Sunday. Once a month, we're going to hop on La Resistencia con Café. We're going to grab our coffee and we're going to sit with each other for 2 hours plus, however fucking long you guys want. And we're going to talk and we're going to chat about everything. And I'm going to be there to answer all your questions. Okay, guys? This is it. This is the real deal. And the first Café con Resistencia is this Sunday at 4 p.m. Mountain Time. We're going to hang out. So if you're truly ready to make a change, if you really do want to resist, if you really want to create change, if you really want to learn, you want to reconnect, and you want me to be a part of that, you want me to be a part of your life in that way, go to my school. I'm not bullshitting you. I'm not here to make money. I'm not here to become a millionaire. I'm here for everybody. Since the day I was born, I knew what I came on this world to do. And that is to educate and to be there for others so that no matter who you are, you will never feel lonely because you know that someone always is there and someone has your fucking back. And you guys can go research about me. You can look it up. I don't get paid by brands. I don't get paid by politicians. I don't get paid by jack shit. I have like, I think $10 in my fucking account right now. And I don't give a shit because if everyone is so fucking just all about money, making money, finances, yes, we need that. And as Latinos, we do need to have generational wealth and we need to build it. But the first thing we need to build is our health. The first thing is our fucking health. If we're not healthy, we're surviving, we're not thriving. It's time to give that fucking up. So go to that link, click the fucking school, and spend $20 on a real fucking investment for a real person that's going to be there for you. Okay? You don't need HBO. You don't need Netflix. You need to learn about health. You need to learn about your history. You need to learn about your politics. You need to learn about your philosophy. You need to learn about sustainability because if shit gets crazy, whether it's politically or the fucking weather, you better know how to grow tomatoes. You better know how to harvest rainwater. You better know how to filter that water. And guess what? We have from generations of ancestors that knew how to do this. Did you know that if you have dirty water and you want to separate the dirt from the water, all you have to do is cut some nopales in there, leave it for a couple of hours, and the nopal, la baba, the fucking slime of the nopal, will separate the dirt from the water. And that water can be used to wash your dishes if you wanted to. This is the kind of shit we need to learn how to fucking relearn that our ancestors knew, that our grandparents knew, that we maybe didn't have the time to learn from, or we just weren't aware that we were going to need this. Okay. So I'm telling you again, I am the realest motherfucker you're going to meet in your life. And I am here for you. I am here to help you. I'm here to educate and I'm here to build a community because it's our time. It's our fucking time. Click the link. Go join. We already have 5 members who have been amazing. Our first call is this Sunday, Resistencia con Café, more than 2 hours. We're going to sit and we're going to chat and I'm going to see you guys and I'm going to answer your questions. And that's the best part. And then every single week, we're going to hop on a call and we're going to answer questions and we're going to build this shit together. If Latinos need more LGBTQ spaces, let's do it in school. If you want to learn everything about pre-Hispanic Mexico, let's do it in the school. If you guys want me to go state by state in Mexico and break down all the history, all the pre-Hispanic history, that's what we're going to do. If you're looking to get your double citizenship, if you're looking to do all these and you need help, that's what we'll do in school. We're going to build this shit together. None of us came into this world to be alone. None of us came into this world to be so fucking egocentric that all we care about is ourselves and only making money. No, we came into this world, into a society. We came to be good citizens, to be there for one another. Let's go back. Let's go back to when your neighbor's house fucking falls because of a fire, you build it back together. That if you know that your neighbor's hungry, you take them food. That's what it's about. Stop this fucking bullshit that's happening in the world, whether it's thanks to the United States or whatever it may be. Stop it. This is a fucking empire mentality. We will not survive as humans with that. We will survive with our ancestral knowledge, our ancestral foodways, understanding that the earth isn't here just to look pretty. That fucking tree is not just there to be, look pretty in Irvine. No, it's giving you oxygen. It's giving you life. Let's go back. Because if we don't, we'll never, ever thrive. We'll just survive. All right. I love you all. If you guys missed it, link is in bio. Go now. Join the community. I love you guys. Love you guys.